great now. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I think sometimes it's something you have to live. You sit in a room with death like that, you know. It's fucking horrible, man. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, why does he kill the dog? Does he feel in his personality a bit of a dog? The way that he's having, the way, you know, the life that he's having.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog himself. You know, he's been kicked like a fucking dog. That's how he feels. But the point of that opening scene is just the guy. It's, you know, with a short film, just taking short cuts to things, and you know, you hear him on the tail end of an argument coming out of a pub, and it's just that drunken rage, the misplaced anger of hitting the nearest thing to you. If it wasn't his fucking wife, then it's his dog, you know. And I think immediately that he turns around, because his dog's yapping at him, immediately when he turns around and kicks it, it's like he sobers up, you know. And it's like, oh fuck. And then the next day he puts it down because it's, you know, and buries it. It's humane. He's like, he's hurt the last closest thing to him that was his companion, that didn't judge him, that didn't do any of those things, and he's injured him and killed him. And that's what sort of sets him off, and I think that's what leads him into Olivia's kind of arms, is just on this landscape, apart from a little kid. She's the only face that isn't judgmental to him or treat, even though he's quite hostile. He's hostile himself. He's going into the news agency saying he's got a fucking bomb in his shoe and he's an antagonist. You know, he almost wants that reaction, you know, to be punished in some way.
I was just going to say, just the paranoia, I don't know where it comes from. Is it that, is this, where the point he's come to, obviously, is not how he started out, so
yeah.
This paranoia, this violence, this thing, is this just the place where he has arrived, where he wasn't always like this?
No, he wasn't always like it, yeah. It sort of happened to him from when he was a kid. And the thing that, there's a lot of things in there that aren't obviously spelled. I don't know if that's bad direction or things that I just left to be ambiguous and thought it better. But like when he's in the scene where he hits the boys, and you know, one of them's pretending to suck off a pool cue, in his paranoia, he immediately thinks, that cunt knows something about me. You know what I mean? He knows, because he's had to do that. You know, that's all stuff that's history for the character, but he's had to do that. And he immediately thinks they fucking know, they know. And that's when he pins him, he says, you like sucking little boys' dick, you know, do that with it. It's where it all comes from. So I'm glad you pieced it on, because there's massive paranoia in that character, massive.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just ask you, part of that piece is that there's history we don't know about.
Yeah.
And we're just dropped into this world, and we don't know anything really about the characters and why they got to this place. Do you feel that maybe if you do a feature, you kind of lose some of the mystery of that and the power of that, because this becomes maybe a trailer for
yeah,
a
it's a
greater
good
story?
question.
You know?
Yeah, it's interesting, but I don't think so, because I think you're going to meet him, you're going to meet these people at a similar point. So I'm not going to go back and explain his history in that way. Little bits of history about him and his wife and the guilt that he basically is carrying with him over all these different things. And then, like I say, you'll see her world is very different to what we might expect, you know, that she's going home to, and you understand why she's facing this at home, and then she can come to work and give herself and be so compassionate, and then, you know, she's a compassionate woman who isn't allowed to be that in her own home, you know, and that's all to be explored. But no, it's interesting enough, but I hope not. Yeah. That's not the plan. I think we're going to meet them at the same point, you know, and
move on.
That. Yeah.
Continuation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paddy, could you give us any more examples of how the director would sort of A, give you a space to work, and B, drag something out of yourself or any other actor? Like I know you said earlier on with March and all that, you didn't like things to chunk like that, you know, too tight, and you need space. And you said your own directorial style was A, good casting, and B, giving them the space, sort of following the actors around to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And so, do you have any more examples of how a director might do that, might drag something out of some, or give them space?
Yeah, I think apart from that, it's sort of I've been on sets before, I've actually turned to a director and I've actually gone, fucking use me, man, you know, give me some ideas. Like, I don't know everything. Give me something to tell me to do it a different, you know, let's kind of explore doing it a different way, you know. I think it's what you enjoy as an actor. I've worked with actors that give the same take every time. And that's great because, you know, when they cut the film, they don't have the horror of sitting there and going, I fucking did it better than that, you know, because they're doing the same take every time. But I get better with, I think, better with take, yeah, it depends, it's a bit of a fucking...
Because an actor gets better with take.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And also, I don't do the same take twice quite, you know, just there's always something different, like, as it moves along slightly. I just think, it's a hard one, you know. I honestly believe that there's the fucking strangest alchemy, or whatever you want to call it, that happens on a film. And sometimes a lot of it, well, it's just unspoken. A lot of it's human nature, and you just meet people that are able to bring out the best in you. I truly believe that that's what it is. And that's why there's lots of films that get made, but there ain't that many great films that get made. And I just think it is, you know, people say it's think chemistry, and sometimes I think that is a lot to do with it. You know, you can...
Think about gently steering, really. You have what you have there.
Yeah.
Gentle prodding to...
There's times on that film, I was trying to get different things, even out of Peter, you know, to try something different. And I think it's just a marriage, it's a total marriage, and you've got to believe in your director. I worked with a director once, and he'd give you ideas that were his ideas, and you'd do them, and he'd come and tell you, oh, that ain't working. You know, and you go, you fucking told you, you know, your idea. You know, it'd make you feel like an absolute prick. You're like, is it me? Or, you know, what's the crowd? It's a strange one, mate. I'd only say that, number one, the director, I think, is the most important person on set for me when I'm acting. He's the man, he's the governor, he's going to put you in that world and create it for you. And he's going to fire you, and your ideas are going to meet, or you're going to hit a fucking brick wall. And people make so many films, and it's, you know, if you look at any actor's career, you can see the times where it's hit, and the formulas worked, you know.
Very good.
I really liked, like, that it was hopeful at the end.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of shorter films. I don't want to be cheesy.
Yeah.
It was great. But something that struck me was when she in the charity shop went and prayed for him, like that dialogue was so real or true. I was really intrigued by that. Now, did she improvise that, or did you come up with that?
It was written as a prayer.
Yeah.
Because I did a film a few years ago, and I researched, you know, being a Christian. I didn't read the Bible. I just went with some, like, born-again Christians on this Alpha course. It was great fun. They all drank beer. You had trifle at the end of it. But the thing that struck me most about them was that their dialogue was very real. Very like, oh God, I'm having a bad day today, Father. You know, it was like, I woke up today, Father God, and I felt terrible, and now and it was very real dialogue. Like I'm talking to a friend. And so it was just the same application to that, really. It was just like, just say it. Just say it like you mean it. They're not lines. And it took a few times, you know. I said, don't say it like the line, fuck the lines, you know. Just say, what do you like saying? What bits work for you? And then things say. And Olivia does a lovely thing in that. And afterwards, this is the mad thing about acting. She does a wonderful thing. Just before she puts her hand, just before she starts praying, she sort of looks up and takes a breath like that, and goes. Like, and I said, I love that, the fact that you're not some woo, you know. And there's uncertainty, there's fear there almost. He's a fucking animal behind the curtain. Father God, and she starts praying. And I said, that bit where you look up, I said, I love that bit, I said, it's wonderful. She goes, what? And Olivia speaks, she goes, well actually, I was just trying to remember what my life was. And you know, a lot of the time, a lot of it's just that.